Perry is known to max out defendants quite often. In this case, maxing out Johannes Mehserle would mean him getting sentenced to 14 years in prison. Do you think Judge Perry is willing to go all the way on the...
Well, his history is that he would. I would hope that he would not make a distinction and a difference because as a police officer, because he does murder cases all the time. There's a human life that has been lost. It should not matter to him as to whether it was a police officer who did this or anyone else. So whatever the maximum sentence can be given, ought to be given, and we hope that he would. And if he doesn't do it, he will send the wrong message to the black community, period. Because the African-American community needs to know if a person commits a horrific crime, that there's no distinction between the punishment that person would get versus what a white person would get for the similar crime in a similar jury result. So it would be important, and I say that's the next step. This was a very important step, no doubt about it. It has some historical significance to it on its face. But the next portion of that is a carry through with it, and that is significant punishment.
My last question is, how does the involuntary manslaughter verdict influence the civil cases, or is there any influence whatsoever in that?
Interesting question. I have given some thought to it. Generally, if you have a conviction in a criminal case that's related to the civil case, there may be an indication where you can use that conviction to prove one of the elements of your civil case. But because it was an involuntary manslaughter, which is basically a negligence claim, I don't think that goes to prove the intent that's necessary in a civil case. So it probably doesn't have any effect.
So it doesn't advance the civil case at all because he was convicted of the lesser of all of the charges?
Yeah, right. Because it was a lesser offense, it doesn't have the same impact. It will have some impact because BART itself will understand that the person's been convicted. They're obviously going to be financially responsible. It certainly becomes a greater bargaining tool, or chip, if you will, than before.